Today we're going to talk about percent proportion and percent equation. When we are dealing with the percent proportion, you are going to be using two ratios set equal to each other to solve for a missing value, whatever missing value that they're asking for. So first, you have to know how to use the percent proportion. So this is set up as part divided by the whole amount equals a percent written as a fraction over 100. So let's look at the example they gave us here. 30 is 75% of 40. 30 is a piece of 40, and that's what it's asking. So the part in this situation is 30. And that would make 40 my whole. So 30 is a percent of 40. And then 75 would go at the top here where percent goes. That's how you would set up your percent proportion. Now, how would you use this equation or this setup to solve for one of these missing values? There are 3 steps. Step 1, label what they give you. Step 2, substitute it into the percent proportion that they give you. And step 3, solve. In this case, when you solve, we're talking about cross multiplying and dividing to get the missing value. Let's look at a few examples. Find the missing value using the percent proportion. So here's example number 1. What is 12% of 85? So let's follow our steps. Step 1, label what you have. What do they give us? They give us the percent. We know the percent is 12. What else do they give us? What is 12% of 85? They give us the whole. How do I know that 85 is the whole? Because they're asking me to take a piece of 85. That makes it the whole. So in this case, we are missing the part. That's what we're missing. That is going to be our X. So now, step 2, substitute the values into the proportion. So the proportion says part over whole. So part would be X, whole is 85. Set it equal to the percent, which is 12, over 100. Once you set this up, you cross multiply and divide. I always like to start with the side that has the variables. So 100 times x, that's 100x, equals 85 times 12. If you guys had forgotten how to do that, how to do the cross multiplying, this is 1020, and then divide by 100. So the part that they are asking about, 12% of 85 is 10.2. That's your answer. Let's do example 2. 16 is what percent of 40? So again, the 3 steps. Label what you have, substitute it into the proportion, solve for what they're asking for. First, let's label. It says 16 is what percent of 40? So we know right now we do not have the percent. Percent is what we are solving for. So we're going to put percent is X. So we have to decide which one is part, which one is part, which one is whole. So 16 is what percent of 40? Usually the amount that is the whole comes after of. So here we have the part is going to be 16. The whole is going to be 40. So now we have labeled. Now we're going to substitute it into our proportion. Part over whole equals percent over 100. plugging it P for part, W for whole. So I'm going to plug it in. 16 over 40 equals, we don't know what the percent is, over 100. Cross multiply and divide. Pause the video, solve this, and tell me what our percent is. You should have cross multiplied. 40 times x is 40x. 16 times 100 is 1,600 or 1,600. And then divided by 40. So the 16 is what percent of 40? 16 is 40% of 40. And I guess even here I would put x equals 40%. Let's look at the last example. 45 is 15% of what number? Remember, label, substitute, solve. First, I'm going to label what they gave me. I know I have the percent. That's 15. What does it give me here? 45 is 15% of what number? What are we missing here? We are missing the whole. So the part is 45 and the whole is what we are solving for. So we have labeled. Now we need to substitute. Part over whole equals percent over 100. So part being 45, whole is what we're solving for, percent is 15, and then 100 is a part of the proportion. Cross multiply and divide. Once you solve, you should have gotten 300. 45 is 15% of 300. Okay, now we're going to talk about the percent equation. The percent equation is just another way to solve for a part, percent, or whole, one of these that are missing. It's just another way to do what we just did. So you are given an equation. Part equals percent times whole. Except in this situation, the percent is written as a decimal. You would follow the same 3 steps with the part equals percent times whole when you're solving for one of these missing terms, label, substitute, solve, but you have to know what they mean when you are reading it. I want you to remember that of means times or multiply, and is means equals. So when it says 30% is 75% of 40, it's saying 30 being the part is equals 75%. Except in this situation, I need to change this to a decimal by moving my decimal place 2 times to the left. So this becomes 0.75 of 40, of being the multiplication, 40. Okay, when you are solving using the percent equation, you follow the same 3 steps. Step 1, label what they give you. Step 2, substitute it into the equation. And step 3, solve for what they're asking. But I do want to add one little note. And when you are solving, if you are missing the part, the percent, or the whole, if you are solving for the percent or the whole, you must divide. When you are solving for the percent or the whole, you must divide. So let's look at these examples. Find the missing value when using the percent equation. So the percent equation, P for part equals, I'm going to use the symbol for percent, times W for whole. Step 1, label what you have. So what did they give me? What is 12% of 85? So like I said, whole follows of. So I'm going to plug this in. I'm sorry, first I'm going to label. So part is what they're giving. Part is what I'm looking for. The percent is 12. And remember, you want to write the percent as a decimal. So this really needs to be written as 0.12. Change it to a decimal. And then the whole is 85. So now let's plug it in. This is what we're solving for. 0.12 times 85. So x equals 10.2. Again, two different ways. I'm going to unfold this. Two different ways, same answer. So let's look at the next example. What is the percent of 40? Remember, label, substitute, solve. Let's label what we have. 16 is what percent of 40? 16 is what percent of 40? So the part is 16. The percent is what we're solving for, and the whole is 40. Plug it into the equation. Part equals percent times whole. Label. Now substitute. 16 equals x times 40. Now remember what I said up here. You must divide when solving for the percent or the whole. So here I am solving for the percent. I have to divide by 40 to get x by itself, just like when we are solving proportions. So my final answer here is 0.40 equals x. Now I have to change this to a percent by moving the decimal 2 places to the right, and this becomes 40%. Same answer, two different ways. All right, let's look at the last example. On the very last example, we are going to use the 3 steps: label, substitute, solve. 45 is 15% of what number? So let's label. Part 45, percent 15%, but I need to change it to a decimal. And in order to do that, you move 2 places to the left. So that's 0.15. And then for the whole, that is what we are searching for. So now we have labeled. Now we are going to substitute into part equals percent times whole. So that's 45 equals 0.15 times W. So now in order to solve, well, not W, we can put, instead of W, we're solving for X. But either way, you could have used W. So let's go ahead and remember your rule. Divide when solving for the percent or the whole. So down here we are solving for the whole. So I have to divide by 0.15 on both sides. So my final answer here is 300 equals X. Again, same answer, 2 different processes. So it doesn't matter which way or which, whether you want to use the percent proportion or the percent equation, because as you can see, you'd get the same answer. Make sure you fold your notes like this, glue this into your journal, Make sure you take a picture of your notes and turn them in for a grade. This is a grade, so make sure you turn them in. Thank you.